Hello, my name is Ian McInturf and I'm a part of the YLI team. At the Harvard organization's culture are commonly shared values. None are right or wrong, but organizations need to decide which values they will emphasize. In a previous module, you took time to define your personal leadership values. Here we'll focus on your organization's values. Before we dive in, take a moment to reflect. When thinking of your organization's values, what words or phrases first come to mind? To help us think about this process, let's hear from a YLI alum about one of their organization's values.
Our company values are very different sometimes from other organizations. As we're building a product for children, we really focus around ourselves being children and trying to remember what it felt like to be a child. So we really focus around having fun, being very creative, being very adaptable, about bringing people together, about also bringing a balance into our lives. The same things that we did when we were children. We did study, but we had a lot of fun and we played. And that's a very important thing and core part of Erandi Aprende. And anytime anybody wants to join in, and we are a growing team at the moment, we always ask, what do you want to do? The same thing that we do with our app to children. And it's a tiny piece of acknowledging people. And why is that important? Because when people feel heard, they feel understood, and they just don't feel like they're working, they're having fun. So that also goes back to our main core values. Another thing that has been a struggle is sometimes that making sure that everybody understands those values that you're talking about, right? Those values initially, we did them, my co-founder and I, and it worked very well. We understood where it came from, but that doesn't necessarily entail that someone else is gonna understand it the same way you do. So it's very important for us when we do an onboarding that we do an exercise and activity with, we call it the bucket activity, where we just put the values out there and we do a practice of trying to understand what people understand by these values. And it's always interesting because I had this very good insight from a mentor saying that you might ask the same question to 100 people and you might get 100 different answers. And that was actually the case. They understand the values very differently to ourselves. But when you put them on the same boat of saying this is where their values are coming from, this is how we perceive them, people are going to have a better understanding of how your organization works, on how you want to bring things to the table and how you want to move forward to make sure that you're always aligning with your mission, your vision, your values, etc. And a part of that onboarding is also important when you're having your first employees, because not only are they going to understand where you're coming from, but they're also going to help you shape that extra culture altogether. Maybe you want to add values, maybe you want to subtract them, or you want to create tiny rituals around things. One ritual that we created all together that's very cool is when we have our check-ins every Monday, we play a song before we start talking, and that actually sets us in a good mood. We call it Pump Up the Jam, just like that very Belgian song, Pump Up the Jam. It's very good. It just puts us in a good mood and puts us in the flow where we all want to continue working all together.
Now that we have some background knowledge and examples, it is your turn to define your organization's values. Some tips for this exercise. It may be helpful to have your organization's mission and vision accessible. And as you go through this process, engage employees, leaders, and other stakeholders to identify shared values. If your organization already has defined values, use this time to contemplate if these values are still true or whether they should be updated. Does everyone in your organization know these values? Does everyone understand them the same way? So here how it works. Step 1. On the chart in your ELC workbook, list 3 to 5 key values that truly represent the organization's ethos. You might write down your own words or refer to the values listed in the link below. Step 2. On the same chart, clearly articulate what each value means in practical terms. Step 3. In the last column, identify the behaviors that you believe would support these values and contribute to your organization's culture. Now take a moment to put time on your calendar 1 month from now to review this values list with your team. During that meeting, look for real examples of what happens in your organization and celebrate or adjust as needed. Remember that it's okay for your values to change over time. As you'll see in future modules, these values can be a compass for your organization, playing a large role in decision-making, company culture, growth, and expansion. In the next part of this module, you'll discuss how to build and sustain a strong organizational culture. Thanks for watching.